Namaste yogis, my name's Kat if we've not met before, and I'll be guiding you through the next 45 minutes of your sacral chakra Yin Yoga today. So just making sure you either have a yoga bolster and a block with you, or a couple of cushions and pillows will be absolutely fine, and even a few folded blankets or towels. So let's start lying down onto our back. Finding your way into any reclined position where your spine can be nice and straight. Do feel free to place some cushioning underneath the back of the head if you just need an extra bit of support there. And we'll come straight into a supine butterfly. So bending up the knees, feet are flat on the floor. You can have the feet touching and then just drop the knees out to the side. So the soles of the feet touch, feeling a pull around the hips, the inner thighs. If this is a bit too much too soon, slide the feet away from you. Just take a loose diamond shape. And just finding your first edge, finding a shape where you can feel something into the inner thighs. You can even tuck the shoulder blades under, keep the chest nice and open. Closing down the eyes, or just taking a soft half gaze towards your top lip. This is your time now, just for you. Nowhere to be, nothing to think about. Just here to connect with yourself, as well as the energy center of the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is located just between the hips, below the navel. So you may even wish to bring your hands to this point, just below the navel. One hand on top of the other. And just feeling into the space around the womb. And even if you don't have a womb, energetically, there's a center of creation right here, our sacral chakra. The color is orange. Sanskrit is Swasistana, which means self-dwelling place, or often sweetness. The spinning vortex, or the pulsing heartbeat of concentrated energy around sacral chakra, is our center of our emotional intelligence, our center for relationships. And not only relationships with others, but most importantly, relationship with self first. Center for creativity. The element of water governing our flow. So we'll just take these first few minutes here, just breathing in the beautiful, vibrant orange light of sacral chakra. And on a physical level, just observing sensation around the hips, the inner thighs. And this loose diamond shape, we can just imagine the energy coming up from the earth and directing it to our sacral chakra. Feeling the back of the pelvis heavy. If anything on a physical level is feeling a bit niggly, a bit sharp, just slide the feet away from you. If you do need support underneath the knees, if you haven't already, placing some cushioning to hold the thighs. And just letting the physical body settle. Just letting thoughts settle. They'll still be there, especially as there'll be quite a bit of philosophy today offered. So the mind may get a little bit active connecting with philosophy, which is absolutely fine. And as always, take what you need, take what resonates for you, then leave the rest. And we just have one more minute here. As we prepare to connect even deeper with sacral chakra, building our relationship to ourselves. And then once this is strong and vibrant, we have a chance to connect and build our relationship with others. Last few breaths. Deepening your inhale. Maybe even breathing into sacral chakra. If the legs feel heavy, bring the hands to the outer thighs, draw the knees in, and just send the legs long, just let the feet flop out. You can let the hands dissolve by your sides. And just notice what you feel, any tingles, any shifts around the legs, the hips area. Nice and slow, as we have been lying down for a while. Drop your knees over to the left. Just take a pause here. Pressing into the hands, slowly rise. Then we'll just take a kneeling position. Just for a moment, just let the energy settle back into the body after lying down. And you may wish to grab some cushioning, maybe a couple of pillows, a bolster, a block. Have them handy in front of you. Then nice and slow, we'll make our way to a standing position. So making sure your feet are nice and grounded to the floor. Tuck your chin to your chest and slowly start to round your way forward into dangle. Hands can land on your stack of pillows or cushion. And take a little micro bend in the legs. Don't lock out the legs here, and even the weight can come into the toes. And just notice if you're scrunching your shoulders. Just let the head be heavy. For some of us who may not need any support in the fingers, just gently brush the floor. Target area is the back line of the body. So just let the head be heavy if that's okay. Feeling the stretch all the way down the hamstrings, lower spine. May even feel a little bit of a compression through the hips as we fold. Just find some softness. And if you do have any low blood pressure, if this shape is making you feel dizzy, just come back to the kneeling position. Or if you're familiar with the caterpillar pose, absolutely fine to take caterpillar instead. But resting some weight on the hands can just take the pressure off, just help you feel a bit more secure. Once again, awareness of the area between the hips. And our energy centers go all the way through, so even awareness of the back of the pelvis. And even into the kidneys, the adrenals in the lower back. As these are the physical organs, the hormone centers associated with sacral chakra, helping us find our flow. And each of our chakras have different characteristics to be aware of, and the more aware we are of these characteristics, works. Then we know when we're in balance and when we're not. So just have the last few breaths here. And just softening any gripping, softening through the shoulders, the arms. Nice and slow. Just bend one knee at a time and just come back to a kneeling position, sitting back on the heels. Careful as you lift the head, can get a bit heady, bit of a head rush. Kneeling's not suitable for you. Just bring the feet to the side and stretch the legs long. Just sit back on the hands. And just let the energy settle. Notice how the lower back feels. It may just be the sensations of the blood trickling back into the body. Then we'll make our way into a squat position. So do have a block or a bolster handy, or a cushion, something to sit on. And just bringing the feet nice and wide. Turning the toes out. And maybe bringing the elbows to the inner thighs. And if you find your heels have come off the floor, you can always grab a folded blanket and just fill the gap by placing a blanket underneath the heels and lifting up through the chest. Target area once more is the inner thighs. Bit of a pull into the lower back. So if this isn't working at all for you, not a problem at all. So have your bolster handy and just perch on the edge of your bolster. Even a block or some cushions. And then just notice this may bring the heels to the floor. So this is an absolutely fine position for your squat to be sitting, still working into the hips. You can even let go with the hands. Hands can land anywhere that feels good for you. If you don't need to sit on a support, not a problem. Just yield to gravity. Just feel the weight of the hips drawing towards the earth. Again, you can let the chin nod in or even support forehead with hands. Find a position that you can stay a while. Awareness once again to the hips, around the lower back. And when our sacral chakra is nourished, when it's in its middle ground, its sattvic state, so we have our flow. We move through life with ease, with grace. We have a good relationship with ourselves. We're connected. We appreciate ourselves. Our emotions aren't running away with us. Yes, we still have fiery emotions. The perceived negative emotions are still there because there needs to be an equal and the opposite, but we don't let them run away with us. Our reaction times are nice and slow. We take the time to ponder before reacting. We have pleasure in our life. We appreciate the sweetness. Creativity is strong and flowing. We have the ability to connect with others gracefully, with ease, without conflict. We have good boundaries. We recognize when we're overgiving or when we're not giving enough. Have the equal balance between the giving and the receiving. We're not scared of change. And we flow with whatever life throws at us. Even when it's a challenge, we get on our surfboard, get in our boat, and we ride over those waves. So just a few things to ponder. Final minute. Of course, if you need to come out early, if this shape is too strong, please do. I'll just leave you to ponder what I've just shared around Sacral Chakra, Creativity Center, Center for Pleasure and Relationships, and the colour orange. I'll let you know when it's time to transition. Last few breaths. Bringing the fingertips back to the floor. You can heel toe the feet back in. If you're sitting on a prop, just move it to the side. And then we'll find our way onto our backs. We will take our next shape from a reclined position. So just making your way onto your backs. You can stretch the legs long if they feel a bit achy, or you're welcome to have the feet wide, knees knocking. You can avoid any counter stretch. It can feel a little bit intense. Feel the legs, the hips. Can we just let the energy settle without fixing or changing? This strong sensation may be the old stagnant energy we're wringing out and releasing. So our shapes will help to shift and move what doesn't need to be there within our sacral chakra today. So just letting it dissipate, letting it move. Then we'll stay on our backs for pontoon, or often known as a restorative bridge. So if you have a bolster handy, you can use that, or a yoga block on any of the 3 heights, or just a stack of cushions. Bending up the knees, feet are on the floor. Now push down into the feet to lift the hips up, just like we would do for a traditional yang bridge, but we need to be supported. This is our passive hold in yin, so do place something underneath the pelvis. If you're using a block, it's a little bit trickier to position, so if you do have cushions or a bolster, do grab those. Now our target area is the front of the body to feel the stretch, top of the thighs, especially the top of the hips, right around our sacral chakra, which is right there, as well as a passive backward bend. Now, if this is your first edge, you feel you can stay here a while, please do. Or maybe you'd like to bring the arms overhead. Maybe send the legs long out in front of you, let the heels be heavy. Chin slightly tucked. Then just settle here. Notice what you feel. If you've extended arms and legs, it's a little bit too much, just bring them back in again. Our chakras can get thrown off kilter for many different reasons. And if our sacral chakra is feeling a little bit undernourished, then we don't have a good relationship with ourselves. We're not loving ourselves, we're disconnected. There's no flow in our life. We feel guilty about giving to ourselves, as a shadow for sacral is guilt. Looking after everybody else first. Giving away all our resources, be it physical or energetic. Not feeling worthy of our own love and attention. And poor boundaries when we're over-giving to others, bending over backwards for others. We run our batteries empty. And also not respecting ourselves. If we're disconnected with ourselves, then our relationships aren't very connected with others. Especially when we're overcompensating by overgiving and giving from a place of lack. Sometimes we're quite isolated. This can also show up in an undernourished sacral chakra, not being able to connect with other people, pushing them away, being distant. So just taking time to connect with yourself, building the relationship with self, which you're doing right now. Just taking this nourishing time for you, just to be quiet, to be still, to bring awareness and healing to your energy center. This can lift you up, even if you don't feel very connected right now. On a deeper level you are, just by taking this time. At any point you wish to extend arms and legs if you haven't already. Always feel welcome to adjust. So just have one more minute left here. Just let the back of the pelvis be heavy. And I'll let you know when it's time to transition. Last few breaths. The arms are overhead, floating them by your sides. The legs are long, walking the feet back in. Pressing into the feet, lift the hips, sliding your cushioning to the side, and nice and slow, bringing the pelvis back to the earth. You can stretch the legs long and knock the knees in. Avoid counter stretch. Just again, let the energy, the body settle back into its new normal. And maybe noticing, does the back of the pelvis feel a little bit heavier? Do you have any nuggets of wisdom come up? There's lots of time for self-reflection, especially when the little bits of philosophy really resonate. Slowly rolling over to your left, take a pause. Pressing into the hands and rise. And we'll meet for a wide-legged dragonfly. So you may wish to have a folded blanket handy, some cushioning for the upper body. Bring the legs as wide as what feels comfortable for you. And feel free to turn sideways on your mat like I have. So you can have some cushioning underneath the heels. Target area is that in the thighs, and the feet can just be passive, can just be floppy. They don't need to be tense. But if you need to tense them first to then feel the relax opposite, please do. Now, if like me, your spine wants to collapse in the opposite direction, get a neatly folded blanket, and I quite like to fold it quite small to get some height, and then sit on the folded, closed end of the blanket. And again, legs don't even have to be so wide. They can just be slightly apart. And then start to invite in a forward fold. If you feel like I do, the compression in the front of the hips, meeting my first edge quite quickly, absolutely fine. For some of us, we may fold more forward. Again, awareness of inner thighs, lower spine. If you need some cushioning, you can either snuggle a bolster up against the chest or just have it resting in front of you. A couple of pillows, absolutely fine. Just letting the head be heavy or support the head in the hands. And find your stillness. When our sacral chakra is overstimulated, so it doesn't have to be just undernourished. An overstimulated sacral chakra. So we're a little bit obsessed with relationships, especially with others. We can be clingy and needy, not liking to be left on our own, paranoid that people in our lives that we care about are going to leave us. So we cling on to them, smother them, being overly affectionate, overly touchy-feely. You know, everything in balance, but just noticing when it's getting a little bit too much. Allowing our emotions to lead the show. So when we're undernourished, we get a bit shut down, not really in touch with our emotions. But when we're overstimulated, that's when the fiery energy shows up. Letting our emotions make our decisions rather than our heart. And also, we can just get a bit attached. And not attached to other people, as well as attached to anything that brings us pleasure. Can be a bit addicted, especially to food, sweet foods, attached to our routine, not liking change. It's like I mentioned earlier, when sacral chakra is feeling nourished, we roll with the changes, we flow with them just like water. If we're overstimulated, we don't like change. We like everything just to be exactly how it is, because that's how we feel secure. So how do we lift up or calm down sacral chakra? Just like I mentioned earlier, giving yourself time to connect with you first. Having healthy boundaries. Knowing when to say no. Or noticing when you're saying yes, or you're being a bit clingy, a bit obsessive. Starting to appreciate time alone. Connecting in with your passions. What lights you up. Spending time every day doing things that you love, that nourish you. Being around water, either in it or sitting by it. You can even use your shower as a cleansing tool for sacral chakra. Just imagining your shower washing away any debris that you don't need energetically. Using your shower to cleanse you. Even just using the mantra, I connect with the flow of water and the flow of my own being. So just one more minute here. Last few breaths. Slowly you can keep the chin tucked, lifting the chest. Take a pause. Placing quietly any props to the side. You can use your hands underneath the backs of the thighs. Bend the knees up. And then we'll find our way to our backs, where we'll take our next shape. So just rolling your way down. Have a sigh if that feels good. Again, notice perhaps the heaviness of the body. How are your hips just below the navel? Maybe feeling sacral chakra awakening, pulsing, spinning healthily. Then we'll stay in our backs for twisted roots. Bending up the knees, feet are on the floor. Pressing into the feet, lift the hips a tiny bit off the floor and take them over to the right. So scooch the hips to the right. Then drop the left knee on top. Left knee to the earth, right knee on top. So that both legs are out to the left. Arms can come wide. If the legs don't quite match up, grab a pillow, cushion, blanket, anything you have handy to place between the thighs. Target area, even though the knees are to the left. Target area for the stretch, the physical sensation, right rib cage, right outer hip. Head can turn towards the right shoulder. Or keep the head in a neutral position. You may wish to double wrap your legs to get a slightly stronger sensation. Right leg binding around the left. And the closer the knees are to the chest, the more sensation for the lower back. So if this isn't feeling good today, it's fine to have the knees stacked. And slide the feet away from you. Again with the arms, if they don't feel good out to the side, rest them on the torso. But just be aware of the right shoulder, creating the spiral effect for the spine. Just having the right shoulder heavy. So if it's come up a little bit too much, to see if you can loosen off the legs to bring the right shoulder down. And then just settle in. Just making sure nothing's pinching or shooting or sharp. You can even imagine the spiral effect of the twist. Being the spiral effect of energy throughout the body. Just like the flow of water connecting in with the flow of energy that is suggested moves in spirals. Even imagining water as it runs down the plug hole, how it moves in a spiral effect. Letting go of any old stagnant energy we don't need. Then we can fill up again, spiral up in the opposite direction, the fresh new energy. So plenty of things to ponder today around the sacral chakra. Just a reminder, colour orange, element of water, hormone centre of the adrenals, our centre for emotional intelligence, relationships, passion and creativity. Building healthy relationship with ourselves, then we can have strong relationships with others. Creating good boundaries. Being passionate and excited without being obsessive and clingy. Not overgiving, equal balance so we don't get depleted and drained. Enjoying the sweetness of life in moderation. And I'll just leave you to ponder for these final 2 minutes. And I'll let you know when it's time to transition. Last few breaths. Deepening your inhale. The head is turned, bring the head back to center. Releasing any props, slowly untangle. Avoid counter stretch, especially if it feels niggly in the lower back. Can you just let the spine come back to normal? Feet can be wide, knees knock in. Or stretch the legs long. And just notice how you feel. Now we'll take our twist over to the right, bending up the knees. Push down into the feet, lift the hips, take them to the left, knees to the right. Right knee to the right, left knee on top. And it may feel different on this side. Spines, bodies aren't always symmetrical. So if you need to adjust, take the knees away from you if it's a bit niggly, or bring the knees closer to the chest. Once again, support between the thighs if that feels good, or even double wrapping the legs. And it's fine if the shape takes a different flavour to what it did on the opposite side, not a problem at all. Again, head can stay neutral, or maybe bringing the head chin over towards the left shoulder. We have 4 minutes here. Just allow the body to be heavy. And maybe on this side, you just like to bask in a beautiful orange colour that you can visualize, not only between your hips, but covering your whole body. Because colour is a fantastic way to heal, nourish, balance your chakras. So wearing the colour of the chakra, or even just having a meditate with an orange silk or piece of paper, or even an orange crystal. Carnelians are my favourite for the sacral chakra. Or red coral, tiger's eye, Shiva lingam. You can place all of these crystals just on top of your sacral chakra between your hips and just have a meditate for 5 minutes. The secondary points for sacral chakra are in the wrists and the ankles. Beautiful carnelian bracelet may help to bring you some healing as needed. Just a few more suggestions. I'll just leave you here to ponder. I'll let you know when it's time to unravel. Last few breaths. Head back to center. Legs to follow. Find your pause. Have a sigh if that feels good. And just notice what you feel. And time for one more shape before we glide into rest. Finish with waterfall pose. So just like we did earlier for the supported bridge, grab some cushioning, either a bolster or a couple of pillows, lifting up the hips and slide the support underneath the broad bony part of the pelvis. Have a wriggle around. Then 1 foot at a time, floating the feet off the floor and sending the feet up towards the ceiling. Legs can dangle over the hips, and if they wish to sway a little bit, just let them sway. Just sending the energy, less of a stretch, more of a tingle from the toes back down towards the hips. Slight tuck of the chin. And we'll just rest here. Sending the final bit of nourishment, healing, uplifting energy, or cooling, calming energy, whatever we need for our sacral. Swastisthana. a self-dwelling place, a centre of sweetness. I'll just leave you here, and I'll let you know when it's time to transition. Last few breaths. Slowly bending through the knees. Take your time to land one foot at a time onto the mat. Have a sigh if that feels good. And pushing into the feet. Lift up the hips. You may just wish to slide some cushioning underneath the backs of the knees if that feels good. And we glide into our final rest, final Shavasana. You can tuck the shoulder blades under, arms as wide as what feels good. Or maybe you'd like to bring your hands back to your sacral chakra. Taking a nice deep long inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. And just relax. Fully trusting you've received what you needed from today's class. And I'll leave you here as long as you wish. And when you're ready to move into your day, do so quietly, calmly, with awareness. Keep the yin feeling and the flow of your sacral chakra with you. It was my pleasure as always to guide you. Until next time we meet, Namaste.